The story opens amid a chaotic battlefield in a distant star system, a scene that immediately conveys danger, tension, and the overwhelming odds against the protagonists. Princess Valera, the daughter of the alien king, is introduced not in comfort or luxury, but in peril. She is trapped in the wreckage of her flagship after an ambush by ruthless raiders. Her royal guards have been decimated, and her escape options destroyed. The narrative emphasizes her vulnerability, although she is royalty. Accustomed to privilege and authority, in this moment she is powerless. This setup is essential for heightening the stakes and establishing the significance of the coming rescue. The aliens and raiders represent not just physical threats, but the entrenched power and aggression of the galactic setting forces that a human, seemingly alone, must confront. Enter Captain Elias Drake, a human hero whose reputation is whispered rather than widely known. Elias is not depicted as a superpowered soldier or a galactic noble. He is a human, carrying only his ingenuity, courage, and resourcefulness. This distinction is important. It reinforces the HFY humans are exceptional theme, showing that humans achieve greatness through determination, quick thinking, and audacity rather than technological superiority or sheer size. From the reader's perspective, Elias is immediately compelling because he steps into a situation where the odds are astronomically against him and yet acts with almost casual confidence. A hallmark of human audacity in HFY narratives. The battle itself is described vividly. The alien raiders are advancing. Plasma blasts streak the smoke-filled void, and debris from destroyed ships floats like lethal shrapnel. Amid this, Elias moves with fluid precision, neutralizing threats efficiently. The narrative emphasizes his near-miraculous effectiveness. It's not by overstating his abilities, but by highlighting his careful observation, split-second decision-making, and fearless execution. Each move he makes is deliberate, showing that his success comes from skill and bravery rather than invincibility. This is key to HFY storytelling. Humans are exceptional because they adapt, improvise, and confront danger head-on. Often in ways alien species cannot predict or counter, Valera's perspective is central in this part. Through her eyes, the reader experiences awe and disbelief. She has heard legends of human bravery and tenacity, but witnessing it firsthand is transformative. This perspective serves multiple purposes. It builds tension. It allows readers to connect emotionally with the character. And it reinforces the HFY theme by demonstrating that even the most advanced alien races recognize human potential. Her reaction, both fear and admiration, underscores the contrast between human resourcefulness and alien expectation. It also foreshadows the evolving relationship between her and Elias, setting the stage for later story developments where mutual respect, trust, and eventual alliance play a central role. The rescue itself is not portrayed as a simple action sequence. It is a carefully staged moment that combines strategy, courage, and human empathy. Elias does not act recklessly. He assesses the situation, prioritizes her safety, and neutralizes the immediate threats. This attention to tactical thinking highlights human problem-solving under extreme pressure. Additionally, his calm demeanor in the midst of chaos reinforces the idea that humans are not easily intimidated. A recurring motif in HFY stories, the narrative explicitly contrasts his composed efficiency with the alien chaos surrounding him, further emphasizing humanity's exceptionalism. Finally, the moment of connection between Elias and Valera is understated yet powerful. He extends a hand, offering help not as a commander or ruler, but simply as someone doing what is right. This gesture is significant. It establishes trust, demonstrates respect, and signals the beginning of a bond that transcends species and societal hierarchy. By showing this simple act of human decency, the story reinforces one of HFY's central messages. Humans are remarkable not only for their physical or tactical capabilities, but for their moral courage and empathy. Of the story shifts focus from the high stakes rescue in Part 1 to the aftermath and character development during the journey back to Arcanus, Princess Valera's homeworld. While the first part is action-heavy, This segment emphasizes human qualities beyond mere physical courage, particularly intelligence, empathy, and adaptability, which are central to the HFY humans or special theme. This part of the story allows readers to understand why the human protagonist, Elias Drake, stands out in a galaxy where aliens often rely on rigid hierarchies, brute force, or advanced technology to solve problems. As Elias pilots Valera safely through hostile space, the narrative foregrounds the stark contrast between human and alien approaches to conflict and survival. Arcanus and its surrounding territories are perilous. Patrols, debris fields, and enemy forces lurk throughout, threatening even the most advanced alien ships. Yet Elias navigates these dangers with a combination of careful observation, intuition, and improvisation, rather than sheer firepower or alien-style strategic calculation. His success highlights one of the central HFY motifs. Humans are exceptional because they can think independently, adapt quickly, and take calculated risks that more rigid or formulaic alien species would avoid or fail to comprehend. In essence, humans thrive in chaos where predictability fails. During the journey, Princess Valera observes Elias closely, and this observation becomes crucial for both character development and thematic depth. She is no longer merely a passenger or a rescued royal. She is an observer of human ingenuity firsthand. Through her eyes, the reader begins to understand what makes humans extraordinary in the context of the galaxy. Unlike the alien nobility and warriors who rely heavily on rules, immunities, and established protocol, Elias acts decisively and without concern for status or recognition. He treats Valera with respect, never condescending to her as a princess, and this behavior subtly shifts her perception of both him and humanity as a whole. This emphasis on respect and equality underscores a recurring HFY theme. Humans' moral and ethical frameworks often surpass alien conventions, not through superiority, but through empathy and fairness. Dialogue in this segment is minimal but significant. Elias's silence contrasts with his decisive actions. While he speaks little, every word carries weight, and his actions communicate volumes about human values. This is an intentional narrative technique, demonstrating that human qualities are not just in verbal heroics or declarations, but in deeds decisive, morally grounded, and courageous deeds. Valera's reflections on his conduct show her growing respect and astonishment, gradually reshaping her understanding of human potential. She begins to recognize that bravery is not only about physical prowess, but also about integrity, empathy, and the willingness to act selflessly in the face of danger. The story also explores Valera's internal conflict and transformation. Raised in a world dominated by strict royal hierarchy and rigid social conventions, she is accustomed to seeing life through the lens of authority, obedience, and control. Yet Elias's behavior challenges all these assumptions. She notices how he disregards status and conventional norms, choosing instead to focus on the immediate moral imperative, saving lives and protecting the innocent. This contrast is central to the HFY theme because it frames humans not merely as physically capable, but as morally exceptional beings. In essence, humans are shown to embody qualities pragmatism, courage, empathy, independence that are often undervalued or misunderstood by other species. The journey also allows for the gradual development of trust between Elias and Valera. Initially, she might have expected a traditional protector or bodyguard who would act as an extension of her royal authority. Instead, she finds a human who does not act out of obligation or hierarchy, but out of principle. The trust she begins to place in Elias symbolizes a broader theme. Humanity earns respect not through coercion or force, but through competence, courage, and moral integrity. Her growing admiration is not romantic in this part, but foundational, preparing the narrative for the eventual mutual respect and partnership that will define later events. Finally, the journey underscores the story's larger HFY message. Humans possess an unpredictable combination of courage, creativity, and moral reasoning that makes them uniquely formidable in the galaxy. Aliens may have superior technology, structured hierarchies, or physical advantages, but humans, like Elias, thrive in uncertainty. make calculated risks, and act with empathy even under extreme pressure. By emphasizing these qualities in the journey, the narrative elevates humans from ordinary beings to a species capable of influencing the course of galactic events, not through conquest but through heroism, ingenuity, and moral courage. Of the story shifts the narrative focus from the action-oriented and introspective elements of the first two parts to a high-stakes diplomatic and cultural confrontation. After Elias Drake safely returns Princess Valera to Arcanus, the story introduces the alien king and the court, a moment that emphasizes the contrast between human behavior and alien traditions, and further develops the HFY theme humans as exceptional beings, capable of inspiring awe and respect even in the most alien and rigid hierarchies. The return to Arcanus is portrayed with deliberate grandeur. The alien court is an intimidating environment, a place steeped in centuries of tradition, ceremony, and rigid social structures. The king himself is a towering, authoritative figure clad in ceremonial armor, symbolizing not only physical power, but also the weight of cultural expectations and political authority. The court's reaction to the arrival of a single human and the princess is a mixture of panic, curiosity, and admiration. This establishes a sense of tension. Elias, a solitary human, is standing in a domain that relies heavily on hierarchy, protocol, and military might, all of which he, as a human, navigates without deference to tradition. This immediately highlights the HFY motif. Humans are unpredictable and uncompromising in the face of rigid authority, and this unpredictability is a source of both fear and respect in the galaxy. When the audience with the king begins, the narrative places emphasis on dialogue and moral confrontation rather than physical action. The king, representing the ultimate authority, questions Elias in a tone that mixes gratitude with incredulity. He asks why the human risked his life to save a princess when he could have ignored her fate. This moment is crucial in two ways. First, it underscores the vast cultural gap between humans and aliens. While alien societies may reward obedience, protocol, or self-interest, humans operate according to principles of empathy, honor, and moral courage. Second, it elevates Elias from a mere rescuer to a representative of humanity's broader virtues. His simple yet profound response, because she was in danger, because it was the right thing to do, because no life alien or human is disposable, encapsulates the essence of HFY storytelling. Humans are framed not merely as physically capable, but as ethically exceptional, willing to act selflessly and with integrity in situations where aliens might act out of fear, obligation, or strategy. The court's reaction to Ilias's statement provides additional insight into human-alien dynamics. Some alien officials are shocked, perhaps even offended, by the human's lack of deference to tradition and protocol. Others are impressed, recognizing an audacity and moral clarity that transcends their own cultural norms. This dual reaction serves to highlight the narrative's central theme. Humans operate outside the predictable constraints of alien expectations. Their combination of courage, independent thinking, empathy often produces results that alien societies cannot anticipate, giving humans a unique advantage. The story subtly emphasizes that humans are exceptional not because of brute strength or technological superiority, but because of their character and their willingness to act on principle. The dramatic tension peaks when the king makes his unprecedented offer. After a long pause, he declares, "My daughter, Princess Valera, is yours." The court freezes in disbelief. Such a pronouncement is historically and culturally shocking. In the context of the alien world, royal daughters are symbols of power, alliances, and political stability. Offering Valera to a human and outsider, and, in their eyes, a potentially insignificant species, is an extraordinary gesture, one that signals both recognition of Elias's bravery and a reevaluation of human worth. This moment functions as the story's narrative pivot. It transforms Ilias's personal act of heroism into a galactic-scale acknowledgement of human exceptionalism. It also foreshadows future developments in the story, setting the stage for questions of choice, agency, and interspecies relations that will dominate the following parts. Princess Valera's reaction is critical in this segment. Although she is the subject of the king's offer, she is not passive. Her observations of Elias, coupled with the shocking announcement from her father, begin to shape her understanding of humans and their unique qualities. She starts to see humans as beings whose courage and ethical standards can surpass even the most rigid alien traditions. Her silent judgment and growing admiration reinforce the HFY theme, human actions. Rather than titles, technology, or social rank, are what earn respect and loyalty across the galaxy. In conclusion, Part 3 of the story serves multiple purposes. It introduces the political and cultural stakes of the narrative, contrasts human morality with alien hierarchy, and positions Elias as both a representative and an embodiment of humanity's exceptional qualities. Through dialogue, courtly tension, and the unprecedented royal offer, story reinforces the HFY message that humans are formidable not only in combat, but in courage, ethics, and unpredictability. The audience with the king becomes a defining moment where human values empathy, honor, and moral clarity command recognition on a galactic scale, setting the stage for Valera's eventual choice and the larger consequences for interspecies relations of the story. Titled The Choice represents the narrative turning point, shifting from the external drama of rescue and royal audience to the internal, emotional, and cultural implications of the alien king's unprecedented offer. It is here that the story emphasizes not only human exceptionalism, but also the themes of personal agency, moral courage, and the challenge of entrenched alien traditions. The focus is on Princess Valera's reaction to the king's declaration that she is offered to Elias, and on Elias's response, which together highlight the story's HFY humans are exceptional core message. From the outset, the scene underscores the weight of the choice. In the alien society, royal daughters are symbols of political leverage, strategic alliances, and social hierarchy. To openly offer one's daughter to a humanist species traditionally regarded as unpredictable and subordinates unthinkable. The court itself freezes in disbelief, illustrating the unprecedented nature of the king's decision. This moment conveys to the reader the magnitude of what has transpired. Elias's actions, his courage, and his ethical clarity have not only saved a life, but also disrupted centuries of rigid alien protocol. By framing the decision within a culture that highly values control, obedience, and tradition, the story amplifies the significance of the human's influence. Humans are shown to be exceptional not because they wield power by inheritance or technology, but because their actions challenge assumptions and earn respect across species boundaries. Valera's internal conflict is central to this part. Raised in a world dominated by protocol and hierarchy, she has been conditioned to obey, to comply, and to accept her role as a political instrument. Yet Elias's heroism has forced her to confront a new perspective, one where courage, honor, and moral integrity define worth rather than social rank or lineage. The king's offer becomes more than a ceremonial act. It is a catalyst for Valera to examine her own autonomy. Here, the story emphasizes a key HFY motif. Humans inspire others, not just through strength, but through the ethical clarity and moral courage that define their species. Valera's recognition of these qualities in Elias reflects a broader theme of the narrative, the idea that humanity's influence extends beyond direct action, shaping the thoughts, decisions, and values of other civilizations. Elias's response to the king is equally significant. While the alien court expects gratitude, acceptance, or even deference to the king's authority, Elias responds with humility and moral clarity. I am no one special, and I did what any human would. You are not an object to be offered, princess. This statement challenges alien assumptions about power, ownership, and social status. By refusing to view Valera as a reward or a prize, Elias demonstrates human ethical reasoning and respect for individual agency. This moment reinforces a critical HFY principle. Humans are exceptional not only because of their courage or skill, but because they operate according to moral imperatives that transcend cultural or species norms. Elias's words subtly teach both the king and the court that human worth is measured in deeds and values, not ceremonial hierarchies. Valera's choice is the emotional and thematic climax of this part. Unlike her court or her father, she is not bound by rigid precedent. She chooses freely, saying, "I am not here to be caged by ceremony or protocol. I choose to learn from you, to see the world through your eyes." This declaration is revolutionary in multiple dimensions. On a personal level, it asserts her independence and agency, breaking away from a lifetime of conditioning. On a broader cultural level, it signifies a challenge to centuries of rigid tradition and a recognition of the human capacity to inspire and transform. The story uses this moment to illustrate that humans are capable of fostering change not through domination but through principles, courage, and empathy. The choice emphasizes that respect and loyalty are earned through character, not inherited status. Of the story, titled A New Era, serves as the narrative's resolution, illustrating the long-term impact of the human protagonist's actions and the resulting transformation of interstellar perceptions of humanity. In this final section, the story emphasizes not only the immediate personal consequences of Elias Drake's heroism, but also the broader galactic implications of human courage, morality, and ingenuity. Solidifying the HFY humans are exceptional theme that has been woven throughout the narrative. This section begins with the recognition of Elias's heroism by the wider galaxy. News of the human who saved Princess Valera spreads rapidly, and the story makes it clear that humans are no longer considered a minor or inconsequential species. Across the stars, humans are now seen as beings capable of extraordinary feats that defy alien expectations. This moment reinforces the central HFY motif. Humans earn respect not by lineage, technology, or sheer numbers, but through audacity, moral clarity, and decisive action. The narrative underscores that human accomplishments are rooted in character and principle, qualities that are universally acknowledged even in the most advanced and rigid alien civilizations. Elias and Valera's partnership becomes a symbol of this new recognition. Standing side by side on Arcona's palace balcony, they represent the merging of courage and respect across species boundaries. Valera acknowledges that Elias has not only saved her life, but has fundamentally altered her worldview, demonstrating that humans possess qualities previously underestimated by alien societies. Through her perspective, the reader sees the long-term influence of human actions. Courage inspires admiration, respect, and a re-evaluation of cultural assumptions. Valera's transformation from a royal figure constrained by protocol to an independent thinker who recognizes the moral and ethical strength of humans mirrors the galaxy's shift in perception. The story emphasizes the broader implications of human behavior through subtle but powerful commentary on alien society. Aliens, accustomed to hierarchy, rigid customs, and the predictable use of power, are now confronted with the unpredictability of human principles. Elias's actions demonstrate that humans can act decisively in morally complex situations, prioritize empathy over protocol, and inspire loyalty without coercion. This challenges established norms, forcing alien civilizations to reconsider their assumptions about strength, authority, and worth. By framing human impact on a galactic scale, the narrative highlights one of HFY's core themes. Humanity's exceptional nature is as much about moral and ethical fortitude as it is about physical or technological capability. Another crucial element in Part 5 is the thematic closure regarding choice and agency. Unlike other alien characters who operate within strict societal constraints, Valera exercises her autonomy fully, choosing to align with Elias out of admiration and respect rather than obligation. This choice becomes emblematic of the human principle that freedom, respect, and courage are inseparable. By honoring her own agency and recognizing Elias's virtues, Valera reinforces the idea that humans are transformative not just because of what they do, but because of the values they embody. This moment also conveys the story's message that leadership and influence are earned through character rather than inheritance or coercion. A key distinction that alien societies now begin to acknowledge. The narrative also provides a subtle commentary on diplomacy and interspecies relations. Elias's actions create a precedent for future interactions between humans and alien civilizations. Humans are recognized as beings whose decisions and actions carry weight far beyond their immediate sphere. This establishes humanity as a moral and strategic force in the galaxy. Aliens begin to respect human judgment and courage, not through fear or conquest, but because humans consistently demonstrate ethical and intelligent behavior. This aligns with a recurring HFY theme. Humans excel not because they dominate through power, but because their unpredictability, ingenuity, and morality challenge conventional expectations and inspire admiration. The story concludes on a note of hope and transformation. Elias's modesty, he refuses to see himself as exceptional, and Valera's recognition of human excellence symbolize a partnership between species grounded in respect and shared values. The galaxy, once dismissive or skeptical of humanity, now acknowledges humans as a force to be reckoned with, not through domination, but through virtue. This resolution reinforces the overall message of the story. Humanity's true strength lies in courage, its moral clarity, and the willingness to act rightly under extraordinary circumstances.